Right, so this is Raiden, and he's a fictional character from the video game Mortal Kombat, and this is a story of how I became Raiden, the God of Thunder. Got to play him in the video games. And so this started early on. I didn't start martial arts till I was late in life, but if you go way back, this was when I was 4, I had some inclinations, as you can see. So you can see me before I headed off to school, I was carrying a sword. And I grew up on a healthy diet of wuxia, which is Chinese martial arts films and stories and novels. And basically, it's the way I relate it. It's like medieval mixed with spaghetti westerns. So you got your cowboys, you got people with special powers. I grew up, and one of my heroes was Jackie Chan. I looked up on IMDb, and he's starred in over 100 movies. He's broken pretty much every bone in his body. He does all his own stunts up till like in his late age. I also grew up in the 80s, so I grew up on American Ninja films, like American Ninja, which is freaking awesome. I like 1 and 2, and I pretend the rest didn't kind of happen, but that's kind of like Star Wars. I grew up on Jet Li, better known in the East as Wong Fei Hong or Li Lianjie, and he's actually a 6-time national wushu champion, and we'll get back to that. He was one of my heroes, and I really wanted to be like him growing up. But what sealed the deal was freaking Darth Maul. He's this Sith Jedi slaughter killer that took on 2 Jedis at the same time, and that really convinced me, like, wow, I want to be cool just like him. So I was determined to figure out what he did. And Ray Park, the guy who played Darth Maul, did the martial arts wushu, and so that's what I wanted to learn. So I found wushu is a Chinese martial art. I focus mostly on the forms aspect called Taolu, as opposed to the sparring aspect called Sanchao. So I found a school taught by Daniel Pesina, who was the original Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat. So I studied under him for several years, and I started teaching them there eventually as well, but I found him. So the training, I started about 3 days a week, and that slowly got to 4 days a week and became 5 days a week until 7 days a week, where it culminated into pretty much me training 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sundays I train like twice. So I felt like I had this double life where I had this day job and I was like this mild-mannered code monkey, and then in the evening I would do like kicks and flips and jump around and kick ass generally. And I had this kind of weird biorhythm where I was a sloth during the day, and in the night my body would wake up. That culminated in me going to China, compete in the Wubin International Wushu Games in 2002, and I won silver and bronze. And that's Wubin. He's Jet Li's coach, original coach. One of my proudest achievements was I got a 720 jump inside kick. What it is you jump off with the right leg, you kick with the right leg, you land with the right leg, but the 720 means I spin twice in the air before I land. And that moment, I felt like it was a pretty cool moment. So Midway is a Chicago game company, and around 2001 they were looking around, they're trying to make this new game. And they were looking for real martial artists for this new Mortal Kombat video game called Deadly Alliance. And one of the people at Midway was Carlos Pesina, who is the brother of Daniel Pesina, my instructor. He was looking around for people, and Daniel said, "Well, why don't you, Pek, you should go audition." So I auditioned in front of Ed Boon and the Mortal Kombat team, and I got the job doing motion capture, which is what this screenshot is about, where you put on this suit with dots, and then you have infrared cameras picking up your moves digitally, and that gets digitized. So I'm in a total of 6 Mortal Kombat video games so far, starting over the span of almost 10 years, and it's been a really fun ride. And that's pretty much the story for me. This more interesting story is Tony Marquez, the original Kung Lao. He was in 1 and 2 and 3, and then I took upon his mantle and became Kung Lao for the next 6 video games. But in the last video game, I brought in 19-year-old Taylor Choi Marquez, who was Tony's son. And I just grew up. I've seen him grow up and become a great martial artist. So I brought him in, and this great moment where he became Kung Lao, and it was like in video game moment history where it was like the son becomes the father. I thought that was really cool. And here's a screenshot of the next. They're remaking Mortal Kombat in HD, and that was really cool. And that's one. It's over. That's it.